Hi, this is Moody, and that's Jack, and we are Super Debate Bros.
What's going on, guys? We're going to be talking about WWE Bash in Berlin. We're going to be going over the matches and just giving our takes and overall thoughts. Make sure if you're watching us on Twitch, check us out on YouTube too. We're going to be the same name, Super Debate Bros. We'll be posting, highlights, clips, shorts, stuff like that, as well as continuing to do reviews of live events, PLEs, pretty much everything with WWE. With the NFL season starting, might see us start talking a little bit about NFL, and then I promise we do plan on starting our debates soon. We're going to do LeBron versus Jordan very shortly. We're just trying to work everything out as we're in the test phases of getting our Twitch and YouTube accounts up and running. But without a further ado, Moody, if you want to get us started.
Yeah, so Bash of Berlin takes in Berlin, obviously. This is WWE's first pay per view in Germany, I believe, in their history. Um, so it's a five-match card, very short card, but it lasts about 3 hours. So the first match is for the WWE Universal Championship belt between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Um, how do you feel about the match?
I think the match itself was solid. I think a face versus face is always an interesting dynamic, and I think WWE did a good job with it. Kevin Owens being who he is, the guy to always, turn heel, betray his buddy. I think they did a good job kind of teasing that potential turn, and obviously throughout the match, a lot of moments for him to potentially, fully commit to that turn. But instead, he doesn't do it, chooses a different path, which was kind of a swerve in itself. I think, you know, 75% of the fans were expecting Kevin to turn. So I think it was, I think it was a good match. I don't think you can have a Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens match that is going to be bad. I don't think a face versus face is always the best dynamic, but WWE did a good job with it. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, face to face is always a little bit weird. It always has to one guy has to play the heel slightly, which is always can be a little weird for someone. Kevin Owens, who's been a heel for the longest time, has always, he has heelish acts he can do, and it makes sense. But he's been a face for the last year, I would say about 2 years at this point, with Sami Zayn, and he's easily a fan favorite at WWE. However, the biggest story coming into this, Kevin Owens hasn't held a singles championship since the Universal Championship back in 2017. So, it's been what's crazy is it's been 7 years at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
when they said that, I mean, you were there, but I was very shocked because, like, it makes sense, but with someone with Kevin Owens' stature, like, he's always, a main focus of Raw or SmackDown. So someone like him not having even the Intercontinental or United States Championship in that span, while it's true, it just didn't seem right.
yeah, he held the Intercontinental Championship pretty early in his career. He held the Universal Championship early on. Ever since, I feel like he's always been the side. Since his match with Stone Cold in WrestleMania 38, that's when he kind of been relevant again. It was a 39 match.
Yeah, he definitely got a renewed push after that, but still, even before that, he was always, someone who was at least featured heavily on the card. He was never, well, yes, he might have been the sideshow. He was always featured, and like they give, championships to one-off people all the time. So you would think someone like Kevin would have gotten a run with something at some point, just to, give him something to do.
Yeah, I mean for sure. I mean, I believe Kevin Owens, to be honest with you, after WrestleMania 33, I think he lost. He won the United States Championship. I completely forgot. That's the last belt he won. He beat Chris Jericho for that at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah, yeah, but that was in the same time span as that Universal Championship, though.
Right, right. That was the last time he won, and I remember him doing a pretty much a really good job with it. But honestly, I don't think Vince really cared for him. He was never part of the story, and to, you know, basically correlate. Like I know he missed a couple of Mania matches. There was always the rumors of him going to AEW. It felt serious at one point, but then he got the push with Stone Cold, and he's back where he's at. But yeah, this is Kevin Owens' first match, so you could tell how desperate he was to win this belt. Made a few mistakes, which we're going to talk about, but
For sure.
yeah,
But I think they did a good job teasing it, especially once Cody went for the third Cody cutter, which I'll get into that later. But after the knee buckled and, Kevin was teasing not going for the knee, and then he finally snaps and goes for the knee, and then almost goes for the apron power bomb. Like I said, I think they kept it interesting with the small teases. I think obviously would have been cool to see Kevin actually turn and win. Would have been a big shock because I don't think anybody was expecting Cody to lose. But I think they did a good job with the story overall.
Yeah, they got aggressive at the beginning, getting each other's faces, which is always
Yeah,
good.
set the tone for the match quick.
Yes. Um, that that kept it interesting. There was a cool moment where Owens tried to stun Rose. Rose reverses to the crossroads. Um, but yeah, the match was good. They obviously teased it where Cody hurt his knee. Kevin Owens didn't want to do it. They're going back and forth, and it seems like potentially I don't know when they're gonna have a rematch for Kevin Owens or Rose. We had SmackDown hasn't happened yet, but if there does, Kevin Owens might switch in the next pay per view.
Yeah, I could see them running it back one more time. Obviously, I know the announcers hinted at Solo being next, but I feel like Solo's got his own story going right now. But obviously, WWE is teasing it for a reason, so I think that's probably what's going to happen next. But I would have liked to see them run it back one more time with Kevin Owens maybe making the full turn. But I think it's, at the end of the day, it was a good match. It was a good little story, a good little, tiff. And to go back to the reversals, something that I thought was really like just stood out for me in the match was how seamless the crossroads. He was able to transition into that from the stunner. I thought it looked really clean. I liked the way it looked. It just, felt like a natural counter, and I just feel like the match itself was super smooth. It was, very technical. The only thing that grinds my gears is the Cody cutter. Like, I don't know. You do it once a match, you do it twice a match, that's fine. But the amount of times that he just attempts something off, jumping off the turnbuckle or jumping off the rope, like it just starts to look kind of fake, which it is. But I still like to be invested. I still like to think that it's real, even though I know it's not.
Well, the my issue is also too. It's just the RKO, which Randy Orton is also on SmackDown, and essentially, I know people are gonna say, well, Carter's been existing for a while. You shouldn't. It's the same thing with Shawn Michaels. No one was using super kick that often or consistently as a finisher or a signature until he retired. Randy's still there. I know the cutter is not invented by him, but it is his move, and he's on the same show as you, and he's also a top character or a top wrestler in that show. So I don't think Cody Cutter should exist more. Also, what should be banned a little more is three crossroads to and a wrestler. I don't think Cody Rhodes that makes the crossroad look very 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 weak. But yeah, just sticking
I
with it.
agree with you on that. I don't think. No offense, to Kevin Owens, because I think Kevin Owens is a great wrestler. He's someone that the WWE fans believe in. They think he's credible face, credible heel, credible champion, all that stuff. But you shouldn't need three consecutive Cody crossroads for you to put someone away. It devalues just a regular one. Like, is he going to use that on Jey Uso? Is he going to use that on Logan Paul? Like, these are people that like one crossroads should be enough to put away. It's his finisher for a reason.
Agreed. With that being said, the match to me didn't stand out too much. Besides that, it's a 3 out of 5 for me. It's above average. Good match to start with, but not the best match in the show.
I'm going to be very similar to you. I'm going to give it a little bit more praise. I'm going to go 3.5. Like I said, it felt like a very smooth match. It's one of the better face versus face interactions that they could do. I liked all the fake outs and everything. So overall, enjoyed it. It was a good start to the match. Obviously Cody coming out first, gonna bring energy to the show, to the crowd. Seeing Cody come out right away, he's so over right now.
Right, Cody is the man of WWE. The Rock will return soon to play against him or wrestle against him. We don't know what's going to happen at Reigns and Rock. But Rose is the man of WWE right now, as he should be, and he's the perfect face. But the second, let's see, the second match was the women's tag team match. It was
Yes.
Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and with the unholy union with Elba Fry and Isla Dawn. This match was okay. I really like the Unholy Union's entrance. I like their presentation. I think it's awesome. So with as well as like Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they have a good presentation about them. I like them together.
No, I agree, and I think the teams are presented well. I just it's hard for me to buy into Bianca Belair getting double teamed and being at a disadvantage against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. It's just they built her up so strong. She's the EST. She was almost unbeatable. It seemed like for years, and now she joins a tag team with Jade, and they got to make Jade look strong. So they in turn make Bianca look weaker, which I just don't really love. That I'm fine with humanizing her a little bit more, but she no offense to Dawn or Fire, but they're nowhere near Bianca's level in terms of stardom, in terms of what they've done in their careers, and they shouldn't be able to just overwhelm her like that to the point where Bianca the whole time is the baby face in duress. It just I don't know, doesn't work for me.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I disagree. I think it's fine if two wrestlers are being one wrestler at a time at separate moments, keeping one wrestler away. I don't think it makes Bianca look weak. I just think that it's just the way the tag team match is set up, just in general with Bianca being double teamed, and it shows how great she is because she eventually actually gets away from them with Jade Cargill getting the finish. Obviously, you
That's the
know,
thing, though. I don't love how like I said, I feel like they have to tear her down a bit to build Jade up, and I don't love it as much, especially because my feelings on Jade is she's like the hook of WWE. She has a great presentation, a word I used a lot last time. She has a great aura, but she's not there yet in terms of in-ring ability, in terms of mic work. She's just, a couple hits and they're building her up to be this badass unstoppable woman, which is great, but they're bringing down Bianca in my eyes to a degree.
yeah, maybe I don't fully agree with that. In general, there's, you know, as we spoke about Hook in the previous show, there's ways to hide wrestlers. They hide Jade pretty well, and like in general, like wrestlers like this existed for the longest time. I don't remember the wrestler that did this in AEW, but I know he won the TNT championship. I always forget his name.
Word though.
Yeah, Wardlow. I mean, obviously Goldberg's an example with this. I know Ryback to the extent was this, I believe. Um, so wrestlers exist like this. There's ways to hide them. You had them 5 minute matches, stuff like that. Obviously, with the difference between her and Hook, they hide Jade completely. Where she doesn't, it's not shown. I'm fine with her being on TV because she's green. I'm glad she's not in NXT because, like, to be honest with you, she wouldn't fit well in NXT. But yeah, eventually Jade and Bianca are going to split. Obviously, I think this is pretty clear. Just when they're going to do it, I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's gonna be Survivor Series, Bad Blood. I think it's too early, obviously. But yeah, she is definitely very green, and let's see what her next match is. I don't think it'll be against Bianca anytime soon.
No,
Unfortunately.
I don't think so yet. They teased it not really in this match, but they teased it in earlier episodes of Raw and before. But I don't. The way they're going, I think they're going to keep the tag team alive a little bit longer. But it just sucks because the Unholy Union was starting to finally hit a groove. They were, like you said, their presentation was great. They looked like champions. So it sucks to see them come out so soon. And who knows if they'll get it back? Who knows if they'll remain in the chase? But it just, sucks to see because Bianca and Jade are so, I want to say big. They're big names. They can be better than the tag team division. I think that should be relegated for more of the mid card women to give them something to do to build their name.
Correct. Um, So yeah, with that being said, I'm probably gonna give the match a 2 out of 5. I just don't care for these kind of matches. They're very boring. Just one-sided matches. Unfortunately, like I said, they hide her well, which is okay, but it doesn't save the match to me.
No,
So
I
yeah,
agree.
two out
It
of five.
it definitely doesn't save the match. I'm with you, kinda. I'm giving it like probably say 1.5. I just not a huge fan of it, just for the reasons I've already stated. But I can get over it. I'm not going to hate it on the match forever, but it's just largely a forgettable match for me.
Yeah. Um. So next match, and we're already halfway through, which is crazy to say, but
Yeah. On that point, really quick, I think there needs to be a real discussion about how short these PLEs are and how long these AEW pay per views are. We're not hitting a happy medium for either.
yeah, if All In is going to be their WrestleMania. I'm okay with it for being 12 matches. That's how WrestleMania used to be back then. Well, no, it wasn't 12 matches, was it? Or am I saying that? Am I wrong?
I mean, I don't know the exact number, but 12 matches sounds about right.
I'm pretty confident it's 12 matches. But regardless, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I feel like AEW is always really long with a bunch of matches, and WWE is very short with their matches. Yeah, it was 12 matches. It was excuse me, it's 8 matches, three
And then the pre-show,
yeah.
which yeah,
So nine
which
yeah.
makes sense. But here's the thing: AEW does it every single pay-per-view. It's a loaded card, and it's let some of these stories flesh out a little bit more. Like All In's coming up, and I promise you, it's going to be like I don't know. What do you think? Probably 9 matches, 10 matches,
I think
and then they're building it on 2 weeks.
yeah, I think I checked all out because I'm going to that obviously. But it's in Chicago, but I believe it was only 7 matches. I might be wrong, but I could. They might have added matches through that. It is only 6 matches, but today is Wednesday night, so they're going to probably add more.
Yeah, my guess would be they had 2 or 3 more. So and it's like on 2 weeks of build, they're putting up 9 matches, and like sure the Swerve and Hangman match, that's be a great match. That deserves to be Hell in a Cell or Steel Cage, whatever they're doing, and it deserves to be on pay-per-view. But we need to I don't know give some more stories more time to flesh out. Like
Well,
the
yeah.
Scapegoat versus Brian Danielson, I feel like that could have been a really cool story, but they're gonna rush it in a week and a half.
Well, I think Brian Daniels is going to be done by the Seattle pay per view. I don't remember the name of it.
Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, so they're ending all the they're just going to give them all the matches at once. But in general, this is AEW's fault for doing All In and All Out at the same time, or 2 weeks apart. I don't understand how people are okay with that. I'm pissed about that. By the way, we All Out used to be the WrestleMania of AEW. Now all of a sudden, London is, and we get the. I always think we get the shorter stick of it. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, well, you still get the Adam Page and Swerve match." Great, that's fantastic. I don't think we got the great card as all in. Like, no offense, why is Pac wrestling Will Ospreay? I don't really know. Am I missing something? But MJF versus Daniel Garcia, I understand. Mercedes Mones versus Hikaru Shida, I'm not sure who she is, but um, I'm sure she's from she's signed to AEW. I know that for sure, but I know she's been there for a while. Just why they're wrestling. It happened a week. They decided to do it a week ago.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Pac and Will Ospreay was. Pac just ambushed Will Ospreay, and then maybe they'll do more build today, but it's still 1 week of build pretty much, and it's that's kind of frustrating for me. And we need to get somewhere in the middle, like I said, where we're getting right about 7 matches of pay per view. And because same thing with WWE, you expect me to sit through 3 hours of pay per view for 5 matches? Half of that is ads, half of that is downtime and entrances. I don't know. You can. I think both companies can do a little bit better than what they're doing right now.
Yep. Um. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm disappointed. I was disappointed in both matches cards, but anyways, speaking to the main topic, back into Bash at Berlin. So we're starting with CM Punk and versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. And I'll say this: I usually hate strap matches. I don't like gimmick matches too much. They usually are boring. But this one was fantastic. I think CM Punk and Drew have perfect chemistry, and they work together well. And just they put a great match together. I can't even deny it. I'm not a big fan of these kind of matches, but they got me here.
No, I agree with you. I think the reason it worked well was because it wasn't like a strap match in most senses where they're trying to win right away and it's not believable. It was two guys who just wanted to be able to beat each other up, and the strap gave him an excuse to not have to run, to be like, hey, we're going to be able to just inflict pain, pretty much. And that's something I liked about it. I wanted to be able to see that, I guess, because usually when it's a strap match and it's, oh, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna beat up on the guy forever, and it's gonna be, or not a beat up. Sorry, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, we're just going straight for the win. I don't. It's unbelievable to have a match like that go on for 15 minutes. when it's two guys who hate each other and they just want to beat the crap out of each other, that's the way to make this match work, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I mean, for realistically, a Punk, did had an early GTS that day, and instead of winning the match, he started beating him up. You know, just everything he could do to get into Drew McIntyre's body, just beating him.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, and yeah, like you said, they threw everything at each other. It was, I don't know, it was probably the best strap match we're gonna see in who knows how long.
Yeah, Punk loves these strap matches. Didn't know he was 3-0 in these, and now he's 4-0. I know he had a match against MJF and AEW. It just seems he really loves these
Yeah,
strap matches, and again, these are classic old matches that people used to do back in the day. Not often, but you would see that. And Punk again, always keeping the throwback around, and yeah, you gotta appreciate it. I mean, like I said, these matches are sometimes could be done awfully, and they're just. I think this one was done the best.
no, for sure. I think they, like you said, they really made the story work, and then obviously Punk and Drew, they're two of the best workers we got in WWE, so they're gonna work hard.
Yeah, I mean and they had while they're being serious, there's humor with the Drew carrying CM Punk while CM Punk's also slapping the same post as he is.
Yeah,
Punk almost winning like that. Um, there's a few table spots which is great. And the one thing I'm gonna say is everyone, difference between WWE and AEW, there's a lot of blood in AEW. There's not really any blood in WWE. One thing I always will say is it's always important to remember you don't have blood is important, but keep blood important by making it rare, or just when it's important stuff. You don't need to bleed just to bleed. This strat match was aggressive. However, like no blood, right? And some people will complain about that. It's like, oh, it's not realistic. This, and this. You don't need blood for everything. They told a great story without the blood. I don't think would have added anything. Keep the blood for bad blood. We'll see. You don't need blood for every rivalry.
and I agree with that. It's not, it doesn't hurt obviously, but like you said, keep it special. If you do it all the time, it loses the value, and that's kind of something with AEW that don't want to throw AEW on the bus because I'm a big AEW guy. I won't lie. Yeah, I mean that's obvious, but it just doesn't work when that's all they're doing. It's just bleeding all the time, and then it's like, okay, so this guy bleeds all the time. What actually matters?
Right. Blood doesn't make a match. To say how this match ended, Punk I believe ended with 2 to 3 more GTSs.
Yeah, four in a row. I think he did one for every turnbuckle, which I like because I think it makes Drew strong.
Yeah, I know someone made a joke that he didn't think the first one. I'm like, yeah, he didn't, but like probably after the second one he was knocked out. But yeah, this was a great match. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. I think this was the match of the night, in my personal opinion. I have nothing. I mean, again, TME matches not my favorite. This was a really good match of it.
I agree. I'm with you on a 4 out of 5. It wasn't a technical show, but it was just it was just what it needed to be. It was two guys who they built up as at this point just hate each other. They're ambushing each other every week. They're flying off the rails trying to get one up on the other guy. They're having these war of the words, and so I think they did a really great job just showing how much these two hate each other. Punk gets his bracelet back, which is probably my least favorite part of the story. Like, it's a bracelet. It's kind of stupid, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, wrestling. That's how wrestling could be. The whole thing would be over a dumb reason, but it's believable, which is funny about it. Our next match is the Terror Twins, which is Damian Priest versus Rhea Ripley versus the Judgment Day with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. I usually hate mixed tag matches, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I like this match really well.
I 100% agree. I think and I think it helps too that obviously they're just so over right now in terms of like how much they're hated, but they made it work. The intensity, the sliminess of Dom and Liv, everything about it just kind of worked, and it's hard to deny that. Like you said, mixed tag matches kind of suck. Just to be honest, they don't usually work for me, but this one case, just the way that the heels and the faces were like meshed, the obviously the story behind it I think helps, and that's one thing I'll give WWE with, even though they're doing 4 or 5 matches, they're doing ones that have good stories, so it makes the crowd a little bit more invested. So like you want to see Rhea get her hands on Liv, you want to see her, beat her ass pretty much. So it makes it more fun for me at least. Like I don't know about you, but that's one thing I definitely like about it.
Yeah, WWE with these matches, even though they're 5 matches, I would like more. They pace the matches pretty well. I don't really have an issue with the pacing of the match, and the stories are fantastic in this. Obviously the build of the Judgment Day split, how it was going to happen, and I'm sure that this wasn't the original plan, but Liv Morgan took advantage of Rhea Ripley's injury,
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, again, for the mixed tag matches, I don't care for these, but these are awesome, and for sure, uh, of course, Ripley's gonna beat up Mysterio. They're gonna hint the finisher. This is what every match starts with. The girl beats up the weaker guy. Um, I think Wade Barrett was very funny during the on commentary. Talk about how she's beating up his own ex or her own ex so badly so many times. Like, where's the love? But obviously, just to me, that's hilarious.
yeah.
The comments he kept making.
No, and I think Wade Barrett honestly kind of doesn't get him as much credit as he deserves. He's very solid on the mic. Which he was in his career, but he did a good job with this. And just overall, Michael Cole just detesting Dom, everything about it. It was a fun match. It wasn't something that we're going to talk about for ages, but I watching it, I was interested. I wanted to see them, kind of beat the shit out of Dom. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see Rhea just dominate. The one thing that I will complain about is, well, yes, I want Rhea to dominate and be strong. It does undervalue Liv once again. Just seeing, Liv hits her finisher, Rhea kicks out. Rhea, hits her finisher and she's able to pin Liv for what seemed like 6 seconds because after the pin, she's still doing the pose. I get Rhea needs to be strong. I get they want to make Rhea the new China almost, but Liv's your current champion. She's one of your future stars. She's, a great face for the company in terms of marketing and all that. You can't keep devaluing these women to make other women look stronger. You can make them both look strong in different ways.
Yeah, agreed. Just you know, Ripley is just it seems like she's always very dominant against a lot of the wrestlers she wrestles against, and yeah, it's not a good balance with that. Sometimes I don't know how they're gonna have a one-on-one match without any interference. We'll see how that goes. Liv's gonna obviously have to look good in those matches. Speaking
Yeah,
of which,
because I mean, the way that they built it so far, it seems like the second she steps in the ring, she's going to get demolished.
yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, but Liv, like, she'd had some of her spots. She had that nasty spot with Ripley where she smashed her head or Ripley's head against the barricades with a
Yeah,
flip. I really liked that. But my favorite bump and my favorite thing was the McDonough getting smashed by Damian Priest over the wrestling
yeah.
over the announcer table. I was so shocked. I mean, I'm gonna say this now about Damian Priest. I didn't care for him as a heel. Didn't really care for him. I liked him when he became world heavyweight champion. I liked him better as a face. His wrestling style is fantastic. He's just a tall striker. He's
I agree. He's someone that you want to like.
Yeah, the way he wrestles is fantastic. Didn't care for him before. Now I like him a lot. He is taking the Undertaker. I know he's not the Undertaker, obviously, but like the Undertaker gimmick that people call him, like just very well. Like he's just a tall striker. I don't know how tall he is exactly, but he is proving his point. I cannot wait for Priest versus Balor. I cannot.
No, I agree, and I think Priest as a face has been presented a lot better, and I think it's a more natural role for him. So you're not gonna hear me complain about it.
Yeah, no, no way. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm giving that match a 4 out of 5. I think that's just ties Punk's match against McIntyre. I think these were the two best matches, and they did the best they can as a mixed match.
I
Fantastic.
think I'd go 3.5. I don't think he was as good as Punk McIntyre, but like I said, it was fun. The character work really paid off, and it made it more interesting than a normal mixed smart or a mixed tag would work for me.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed for sure. Now the main event, and I think uh, a good match itself. Randy versus Gunther. Um, I think Randy walking out with everyone singing his song. People's been doing it since the French did it and Backlash, and it's just like
Yeah, it's interesting how everywhere they go, there's always some kind of new chant. It seems. Obviously I don't know the culture, but I feel like everyone's trying to outdo the next country. They want to be the one to up the ante, I guess.
yeah. I mean they don't get pay per views often as us, so they it will
Yeah, so they got to make the most of it.
yeah, and they show love for Orton. Obviously Gunther doesn't get his praise. He's not German. I know he's Austrian, but he wrestled a lot in Germany and is well known in Germany in the wrestling community. So makes sense for him to be main eventing this pay per view.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a perfect test for Gunther to say, just like someone of Randy's caliber, someone who I don't know is always going to be a legend at this point. No matter what he does, he's going to be over. So getting Gunther a heel to be able to be the one to beat him makes sense. And then there was also the sketchy finish at King of the Ring, so it's a natural starting point. Orton has a true gripe to say, so I think it was the smart move. And their styles, while they're very similar, I think that sometimes works, especially when Randy starts off slow. Gunther can work slow or fast, so I think he kind of went a little slow to start too, and they like really just sold the fact that Randy's the veteran, the savvy one who has all the tricks and can I don't know, I don't want to say cheat his way, but he can almost just keep himself in any matchup because he's that legend, he's that crafty veteran. Whereas Gunther, he has he's the younger, brighter star, so he's the one who's going to be able to outlast and withstand all these attacks. And then when he finally gets his moves off, since he's younger and stronger, he's able to kind of finish the match that way.
Yeah, Orton has never been my favorite wrestlers. I mean, I respect him and everything, but yeah, his match style is slow, which you can always appreciate. It's just yeah, if you're expecting a high flying offense in this match, you're not getting that. Gunther and Randy wrestle a very old match, and I know I've read already some people complaining about this match being awful based off that, which I just would disagree. Um, Randy may not be pretty when he wrestles, but it's always on point. It's always excellent. There's no mistakes with it, and you can't expect Gunther and Randy also have this high flying match. There's different kinds of wrestling. Um,
No, I
Randy,
agree. And yeah, you can't go in expecting a fast paced brawl. It's going to be a methodical, tactical fight.
yeah, I mean, complain the match went too long. The match went, but into the crowd. I mean, obviously we're important as well, but the crowd is going crazy for this match. I know it was because it's Gunther, and yeah, oh, you're watching a more strong style of, like wrestling, where they're putting each other in sleeper holds, when they're putting each other in submissions and finishers, and Gunther breaking out a lot of early pins. This match was to set up Gunther as he's as just great as he was while he was holding the Intercontinental Championship, and obviously the King of Ring setup, like as you mentioned, was fantastic for this because Randy, such a popular wrestler now, obviously made him for almost 22, or actually yeah, about 22 years at this point. He is WWE's legend besides Cena that could I believe still
Yeah,
wrestling.
he's the only true full time legend at this point. You could say Punk, but Punk's so brand new to WWE again after being gone for 11 years that right now it doesn't seem like he's the legend. It seems like he's the hot free agent that like he's like the Cody Rhodes almost. He's the star, the baby face. So Randy Orton's the true legend, and giving a young champion a legend to beat first you know, make add some credibility to the reign.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just going through his first defense being against Orta is fantastic, and very, very, very slow match. And only thing I'll complain about this match was the weird ring countout thing. The ref was very slow. I know Orton eventually got back inside the ring, went back out, but this is for the table spot. Um, you know, it feels very like you know, I don't really care for that. Ref counting super slow and stuff like that. But the thing is about that, I don't even remember the table spot very well. I'm not saying it's not important, but like you kind of wasted about I want to say a couple minutes to add a table spot, and then that doesn't even feel much about it. I don't know. That was my least favorite part of the match.
Which is, yeah, I get it. It wasn't, the most memorable, but I do love the Randy grab someone, throw him up onto the table. It's not iconic spot at this point, just like him doing the apron DDT. It's just one of those things that works. I didn't hate it. I do agree with you that it seemed a little long, seemed a little slow to build. But at the end of the day, I think their styles worked well. And, Gunther getting the finish at the end, him looking super strong with that sleeper, withstanding pretty much everything Randy threw at him, and then being able to pretty much choke him out. The weirdest thing to me though was if you're building up Gunther to be this huge heel, and during the promos he showed no ounce of face in him. I get he's in Germany. I get that's what like his home so to speak, but he still shouldn't act a face. He shouldn't be the one to extend his hand out to Randy. If anything, Randy should do it to him, and then maybe he reluctantly shakes it. I thought that was kind of a weird end. I don't know about you.
No, I agree. I mean, I know Gunther's the face of Germany right now, and the face in Germany he's a face. However, they should have just took not didn't that wasn't needed.
No,
Um,
and if they wanted to give him a little face moment in his hometown, like I said, have Randy be the one to initiate it. Have Randy come up to him and extend his hand. Don't have it be the other way around where the heel's the one extending the hand, trying to be the face, playing to the crowd. Like at the end of the day, 99% of the shows aren't going to be in Germany, so you can't have him do this one face thing and then have him just go back to normal. You just got to keep it consistent no matter where you are.
I agree. Yeah, stick away with that. Gunther, while he's a very calm wrestler, it has some cockiness to him. Obviously, I mean that's why he lost to Sami Zayn. He got too cocky. Sami Zayn took
Yeah.
advantage. So we don't need that side of Gunther. I like Gunther, but he doesn't need to see that side. So yeah, I agree.
No, I yeah, and I think we're on the same page there.
Um,
But overall, I give this match I give it a 4 star. I know you don't love it as much, but I still think the crowd, just how invested they were into it. I think these are two pros, and at the end of the day, they're just they were so technical and solid. Sure, it took a little bit of time to build, but I was able to appreciate the match for what it was. There was that one dull moment, but other than that, it was just a pure technical wrestling spot.
yeah. You know, to me it's a 3.5 out of 5. Um, just you know, it was okay. That's the way I view it. It was okay. Like it's not terrible. It didn't kill me to watch the show, but or the match. But I probably would never rewatch this match. Maybe only rewatch it to watch the slower moments again, see if I missed anything. But like this match doesn't stand out, especially compared to the mixed tag and the strap match.
For sure. And yeah, I get completely what you're saying.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, this show, with my rankings and my system, how I had it, it's a B plus. There's a really bad match. There was an average match in the middle, or above an average. There was two above an average matches. And there was two like great matches. I think.
And I think that's a fair grade. I lean more towards a B. I think it was a fine show. I don't think there was anything over the top crazy, but I don't think other than the one tag match, which I just have my gripes about how people are presented. I don't think there was anything offensive that happened. I think it was a fine pay per view. It'll be remembered, as pretty much the Punk McIntyre strap match. I think that's the one match that's truly going to be remembered. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah, agreed. Um, okay. So anything else you like to add for Bash of Berlin, or anything about wrestling in general?
Nothing for me to add right now. But like I said, we'll be back. We'll be reviewing more sports, more wrestling. Please make sure you check us out on YouTube. Give us a follow. That's going to be the biggest thing to help us grow. If you're someone who happens to tune in or watch this later on, check us out, Super Debate Bros. That's going to be the most important place to follow us.
All right, y'all. We'll see you guys later, and we'll be talking to you soon.